God, if you send me somebody, he has to love you first. He has to be a family man. He has to love me out loud. I said, I don't want this next person for it to just be me carrying the relationship.
Once I got divorced and separated, I gave myself enough time to heal. I dated, but I just dated just to date. I didn't really date with an intention because I knew I wasn't really fully ready. And, I didn't want to be unfair to whomever was ready when I knew I wasn't. So I was always honest. I was always upfront. Let's just be exclusive. Can this be it? And she was like, of course. And that was it. It was that simple.
It was. And he was consistent. Thanks for inviting us. This is something that we enjoy doing, sharing our story and just sharing our testimony about our journey. Since we've been together, we'll be celebrating 6 years of marriage.
6 years, May 26th, exactly 1 month from today.
Yes, 1 month from the day.
1 month from the day.
Yes.
That's right.
And we've been together almost 9 years?
9 years.
9 years together.
2016.
Married 16 and married 2019. So,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No problem. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. I'll let my husband, he usually always kicks us off. Wow. So I'm going to let him kick us off about our journey, our love journey.
Our love journey. Well, my wife told me that this was primarily just about, why we did not give up on love.
Okay.
And, because that seems to be a thing now, especially in a younger generation. Just, folks out here 27 and 28, I give up. I can't find. It's like you're 27, 28. I was a whole 40. Well, 39. 30. No, I was 39, 40 when I got divorced because I've been married before.
Yep.
Okay.
So just to kind of kick that subject off, I think it's always important when you go through a journey of heartache or heartbreak or divorce or separation that you don't put a blanket over love. And what I mean by that is you don't give up on love just because of whomever treated you whatever way. Just to generalize that. You want to I just still had hope in love because I didn't put love on that person. I didn't say, well, that person did not know how to love me, so I just give up. There's no love out here for me. Love is bigger than any of us. You know what I'm saying? Love is to me equal to God. So how can I limit love to just one person? So that was my thinking as far as exiting my first marriage and getting back out here and searching for my wife. Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Nice.
The same for me. I had been through some relationships that didn't work out. And before I met my husband, the last relationship that I was in, it ended really bad because I thought this is it. This is my person. God, I know this is who you want me to be with. I gave it my all, and then it wasn't good enough. And so this time I really said, I'm going to take this time to focus on me, heal myself. I said, I'm going to take a little time. And I said, God, if you send me somebody, he has to love you first. He has to be a family man. He has to love me out loud. I said, I don't want this next person for it to just be me carrying the relationship. I need to know that he loves me and he loves me out loud. And if I can't get that, Lord, I don't want it. So I was very, very specific in what I wanted in the next man that I found. And this is funny. When me and my now husband, met online, we ended up meeting on Facebook. And we have been friends for a couple
Probably
years.
Probably Facebook friends for a couple of years.
Years. And at the time, he would put these posts out on Facebook about dear future girlfriend.
Oh, dear future wife.
Dear future wife.
Yeah,
Dear future wife.
Yes.
When I meet you, I want to love you. I want to treat you. I mean, just everything was just, oh my God. And when there would be women that would comment like, oh, I love you. Oh my God, where have you been all my life? People, some of the women, they were like posting pictures of them in wedding dresses.
Maybe not
and
that
just,
direct.
Well, they were. And so he would write all these posts like every day, and they would have like 300 or 400 likes and comments. And so one day, one of his posts, I would just usually just like it and just keep moving on. But on this one particular day, he posted something and it just stuck to me. It just hit me. And so I simply just responded with a thank you. That's all I said on the post is thank you. And he inboxed me and he said, if that was for you, can I take you out? And
yeah, because it threw me off. So I mean, usually I was used to, like she said, I was used to the comments just being, "Oh my God, can they make more of you, or can we go out?" But she just said, "Thank you."
Thank you.
So I said, "Okay." I went in her inbox and I said, "Well, if you feel that was for you, then can I take you out?"
Yep.
Since that was for you, then.
Yep.
And that was the rest is history.
Yeah,
that was
the
it.
rest is history. We ended up going out. We made plans to have a date. We had picked a restaurant at Easton because I worked at Chase, and we decided that we were going to meet up, and we went to this restaurant. And one of the restaurants, I didn't like the music. It wasn't loud enough or something. It was too loud.
Adobe Gillis.
No,
Bar Louie.
Bar Louie.
Yeah,
we
Bar
met
Louie,
there,
at Easton.
and then we decided we walked across to Adobe Gillis. And I love music. I'm a music fan. R&B, 90s, just anything music related I love. And he's a music head too, so they was playing the music in there, and
it was like all 90s
it was
hip-hop.
like all 90s hip-hop.
Yeah, so I was impressed that she knew
that I knew
a
some
lot
of the
lyrics. That's what impressed me.
Yep. So I impressed him in that way, and we just ended up vibing.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of the post that she was that mentioned that I was posting, so that was my way of being intentional. So I believe in just. She could tell you, I just believe in being intentional because being intentional, in my opinion, creates habits, which then creates behavior. When you're intentional, and you look up one day and now you're doing something normally that you wouldn't dream of doing because you weren't. It all started with you being intentional, and now it's habitual. So I started putting out these posts of Dear Future Wife because I knew I wanted to be married, not just to be married, but because I love.
He's a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, I am.
And
so
I am too.
Once I got divorced and separated, I gave myself enough time to heal. I dated, but I just dated just to date. I didn't really date with an intention because I knew I wasn't really fully ready. And, I didn't want to be unfair to whomever was ready when I knew I wasn't. So I was always honest. I was always upfront. But the time I remember, and I'll never forget, it was a Monday. This was a little bit, I think we had just met and we were kind of dating, but it was lonely. So I have joint custody of my son, and it's week on, week off. So it would always be a little lonelier. The Monday, I would always drop him off on Sundays. Yeah. That Monday after work when I came home, and even though I may have had a date that evening or had something to do, it was just that feeling of loneliness when I would get off work and come home and I'm like, man, I think I'm ready. So that's when I knew, okay, George, it's time to start dating with being intentional. Yeah. And so I actually have several books out, but one book I have out called Lover, which I wrote ironically when I was married the first time, which is a book just addressed to my fellow men on how we can treat our women better because of what I started seeing in the younger generation. So she actually had bought a book in January of 2016. She was just a Facebook friend. Hey, I want a copy. Yep. And what I used to do back then, the job I worked, I was off on Mondays. So I would use Mondays as my delivery days. If you bought it locally to save on postage. Yeah. So I delivered one to her job.
Yes, and he was checking for me that day.
I was checking her out. I'm like, okay, she kind of, but I ain't saying nothing. So I remember it was real. That's back when Columbus used to actually have real winters. It was real.
Yeah, it was cold that day. It was I remember that.
A big storm.
When you came into the building.
Because I remember it took me a while to walk to my car. I had to clean my car off. Yeah. But she bought my book.
Yep, I did. You autographed it for me. I had to get money out the ATM.
Had to get money out the ATM. So, So, we kept in touch. And then I was kind of looking for a job. I remember hitting you up like, hey, are you all hiring?
Yep, you did. And then you asked me about your book.
Yep, and then have you read my book yet?
I read it. And I was like, no, not
and I
yet.
said, well, no rush. And I was like, no rush.
Yeah.
So that's when 4 months later in April,
that's when you started.
which is now 9 years ago, she hit me up with the thank you on one of my posts and we went out.
And it's been.
And that was it, 9 years ago.
9 years ago. Yeah. And he was everything that I had prayed for. He was intentional. He was loving me out loud to the point where he would, when we decided to be official and we were going to be a couple and it was just going to be us, we were exclusive, he would always post things about me and how he loved me. And I'm like, this is too good to be true. Wait a minute, what's going on? So even to where some of my girlfriends was like, it's too much. What's going on with him?
That's just who I am.
What is this about?
Yeah.
It's too good to be true. And it was where I was literally like questioning myself. I was questioning God, like, when is the bottom gonna fall out? He's just too nice. He's just too loving me out loud. What is going on? And it's just,
and that was August 3rd. So we started dating in April. So now we were very upfront with one another.
We were, right.
Because at the time of our first date, she was dating somebody else. I was dating maybe 2 other people.
I think it was more than 2.
No, it was 2. It was 2, baby.
Okay.
Really? That's how you go do it?
George was out here selling books, okay?
Whatever. What that mean?
And his post
like that's
was
a code.
Like
that's a code for something else. Like that's a code. Selling books.
Women were putting their wedding dresses on his page. Like,
one person did that. One person. Anyway,
hey, it's an artist.
He is an artist. A spoken word artist. He poetry. Oh my God.
So anyway, I knew. So we were very honest on our first date. So
I had just went out with somebody.
Yeah.
I told you, like, I was on a date yesterday.
So going towards the summer, we started spending more and more time. You know, you got Columbus is good for festivals, and I love a good festival. So I looked up, I'm like, wow, I'm doing everything with her. Yeah. I was kind of still dating the other 2, but not as much. But I just found myself waking up every day or at the beginning of the week. I usually always plan my week ahead. And I'm like, I want to see her again. I want to see her again. I want to see her again. So I'm like, you know what? August 3rd, there's Easton has the concert series, the outdoor on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays we would go.
So we would go.
Easton, right there in front of Brio.
Yep. So I told myself August 3rd, August 2nd, actually, I was talking with a friend of mine and I said, man, I'm going to ask her to be exclusive. I'm going to ask her to be my girlfriend tomorrow. So I know I'm going to meet her tomorrow. We go bring our little chairs and I'm going to ask her to be my girlfriend. Yep. So August 3rd, 2016, I just leaned forward. I was like, are you still seeing the one dude? No, I ain't really seen him in a month. What about you?
I'm like, faded away.
Yeah, I'm like, And I'm like, no, the other 2 I was dealing with, they kind of faded. I've been with you. Yeah. I was like, let's just be exclusive. Can this be it? Yeah. And she was like, of course. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was that simple.
It was. And he was consistent.
Yeah.
Which is, again, things that I asked for, you know, being consistent and, like you said, intentional, making time. And he made plans. George is a planner.
I'm a planner.
He's a planner, and that's thoughtful. And then he is he pays attention to the little things. So, and that was important too. Yeah. We was just at an event yesterday and we were talking about, it was a couples event that we attended. And they do devotionals during this event. They did a devotional, and in that devotional, they talked about the little things and what faithfulness means, and what does the little things look like to you. And
it's all about the little things.
It's all about the little things. And I looked at him and I said, "Thank you for the little things, because those things are important."
Yeah, I've just always been about that, and a lot of that came from my dad. Fortunately, who I was able to watch how he treated my mom. Yeah. And which is the reason I wrote my book Lover, because I was feeling like I know so many guys and male friends who didn't have a dad, or they had a dad, but they didn't have a dad that was worthy of witnessing or worthy of being an example. And I feel like I was blessed enough. I had a real life living example. Yeah. I saw my dad come in and buy my mother roses for no reason. And he never really sat me down and told me the cheat codes on how to treat a woman. He never did that. I watched. And that's how I learned also as a parent that kids really watch you more than they listen. Because I can remember on a Saturday morning being 7 and watching Transformers at 11:30. And I remember my father came in one time with roses, and I was in the living room watching TV, and I'm looking in the kitchen like, why does he have roses? It's not her birthday. And I'm like, in my head, it's not Valentine's, it's not her birthday. Oh, okay, I guess that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And I saw my mother hug him and thank you, George. And that was it. And I'm like, okay, I just assumed that was what you're supposed to do. So I just, wrote that book as a way to kind of give the cheat codes, this is how we can do better. So I'm just all about the little things. Like we were talking about last night at the event, the big things are easy to do. It's easy for, a millionaire cat who really don't care about his girlfriend to buy her a car. That's easy. If you got the money, it's easy. But the little things to me is what really just commands your attention or commands intention, because you really have to think through to do those little things. And they, to me, the weight of consideration and courtesy and care really lies in the little things.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, go fill up her tank. Well,
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially
or take out the garbage without asking. Don't wait for her to ask you. Just do it.
Yes.
Do
Fold her
it.
laundry
Vacuum.
sometimes. Vacuum. Yes. Yes.
Do a load of laundry.
Tell her, hey, I got dinner tonight. I'm gonna cook. That's duties that we share.
Yeah.
Because we're a blended family, and so I may cook Monday, Tuesday, and he might say, "Babe, Wednesday I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Dinner."
Yeah.
And thank you, because I'm leaving work. I had to go to the office today. You got dinner. Cool.
My thing is, if you're working and I'm working, why are you? No, I'm not old school like that anyway. Because to me, a lot of gender roles also lay in how things was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s when most women stayed home. But why would I still adhere to that if most couples both of them are working?
We both
so
gotta
no,
work.
I'm going to clean toilets and I'm going to do laundry, and I'm just like her, so it wouldn't even make sense to adhere to those.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, most definitely.
and then just as a man, like, you're gonna have to wash your own clothes, cook your own food,
and he does.
take care of yourself. Just because you need that life skill. I tell my boys, even if you just get meatloaf and chicken and you there's some ground beef and chicken, make you some meatloaf. Okay, let me bake the chicken this day, grill it this day, fry it the next day.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Just
Exactly.
one day your mother's not going to be here.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm going to be gone. And I need you to figure it out.
What about when you're living by yourself before you get married? You're gonna be, you want to eat.
Like,
you can't keep
you
that fast food.
You don't have to be chef Boyardee
No,
or whatever.
no.
Just enough to, okay, I'm not hungry anymore.
Right.
Like,
fill your belly up. You got this.
Yeah.
And everything now you can learn how to make stuff on
Yeah.
TikTok and on YouTube.
But that's the speech I gave when I had Amarian, my bonus son, and Justin, my son. I had him in the kitchen when we lived in Reynoldsburg, and I was trying to teach him how to make bacon, just bacon. And I think Justin was probably 7 or 8, and Marian was like 14. And I brought him downstairs. I'm like, y'all gonna learn how to make bacon. Like, y'all, you got to eat when you have your own apartment. You're not gonna be living necessarily with a girl. You got to eat. So these are basic life skills that should not even be about gender roles. They're just about people roles.
Yeah.
Yes,
you should learn how to do your own laundry regardless. Like you should, So
because even when you're wealthy, you hire somebody to do it. But then when they're gone, you don't know how to take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Right.
You
Exactly.
need
That should never be
as
the
a
case.
human being, at least the basics.
The
basics.
I absolutely.
Yes.
I totally
Exactly.
agree with that.
Man, I appreciate y'all stopping by. This was good.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely.
And I really like that. It's the little things, because that's what life is about. Everything is not a big Moses, the bush is burning event.
Nope. Absolutely.
It's really what you do day by day.
Yep.
In those little moments that present itself.
Yep.
And how to me, how you make people will always remember how you made them feel. I am hard pressed to remember the gifts my dad bought me, the gifts my mom bought me, But I remember the feeling that my father gave me when he came outside to play with me and my friends on a Saturday, even though he was tired and he wanted to rest, and he put on his little cutoff jean shorts and I'll go down to the playground with you and your friends and play a couple rounds. That's what I remember. I don't remember none of the other superficial things, but those are the things I remember, the little things.
The little things.
Yep, most definitely. Yep.
Well, I thank y'all for coming out.
Absolutely. This was a pleasure.
Yes,
most definitely.
Yes,
good conversation.
Good conversation. Just a relaxed, hey, this is our testimony. This is what God has done for us.
Yes, and we thank him.
Yes.
And, you know, I tell people all the time, like, tell your story. You don't know who you saved.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Story.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime you want to come back, just let Valencia the Great know.
Most definitely.
The Great know. We love it.
Oh, why is it important to share your testimony?
It's important because, like you just said, you don't know who you're helping. You know, someone else could be out here just like me, went through a bad breakup, things didn't work out, and maybe they gave up on love. And I didn't give up. I just told God, this is what I want. And if I can't get it, I may give up then, but at least God is who he is, and he loves me, and he knows what I deserve. He knows the desire of my heart. So I believe that he was going to send my person. So I wasn't giving up on love. So again, you never know who you're helping. So, and
I would say on a bigger scale, God created us we're all connected, whether we want to believe that or not, whether we realize it or not. And I am a fan of being transparent because that's what makes us feel connected. Whenever you're going through it, I don't care if you're going through a layoff, you're going through a sickness, you just lost your home. It's easy to feel like I'm the only one that's going through this. But what has gotten me through different chapters of my life is witnessing somebody that got through it and then made it out. So I think it's important to share your story because, like my wife was saying, you may be going through the same thing, a divorce, a separation, or just, dating knucklehead after knucklehead. It's never gonna happen for me. Just hang in there. So I believe it's important to share that story just to remind people that we are all alike.
Absolutely.
We're not that different.
Yeah. And when me and George got together, a lot of people was like, when they would see us out in public and at stores and say like, you guys give us hope, because they kind of watched our whole relationship unfold on Facebook because that's where we met. That's when I said thank you. And he proposed, it was all kind of online. And we would see people in Walmart or at the mall at Easton, they're like, oh my God, you guys give us hope. So again, sharing our story. Yep. So
Awesome. Remember, listen, love conquers all. I know it sounds corny, but
it does.
Listen,
love wins.
It does.
Love wins.
Especially if you are a follower of Christ, you have to understand.
Yes.
Love wins out because he kept us alive. So that's how much love he's showing for us.
That's right.
Thank you, world. Two fingers, we out.
Thank you.